Today I'm going to show you how I make what I call piano keyboard stitch. It uses a single crochet and another stitch I like to call a half double slip stitch. I'm working on my state fair project, and it's supposed to be about my paternal grandmother's life, and I don't really know a whole lot about her, but I know she played the piano, so this was the facsimile I came up with to represent her piano playing. And the stitch that I use, the stitch pattern I use to get it, is kind of a fun one, and I think probably a lot of people could use the lines that it creates to do a lot of other interesting things that aren't just piano keyboards. But because I made it to represent my grandmother's piano playing, I call it the piano keyboard stitch. So we'll set this aside, and I've got some worsted weight yarn here that I'm using and an H hook. You know, it'll depend on your own tension and stuff what you do, but the way I like to start is the way everybody is with a regular foundation chain. So I'm going to chain 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, instead of chaining one and then working into the stitch, I'm just going to go under without chaining anything. I'm just going to pull the loop up a little bit, make sure it's comfortably loose. I'm going to go under that back ridge stitch, and I'm going to work a single crochet in each of those back ridge stitches, all 10 of them. So that's my third. Here's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now, when you finish your single crochets, you're going to have your tail end on your left, and then you're going to turn as if you're turning the page of a book. So the yarn will not be crossing in front of anything here. You can see you're just going to be working right in to under both loops of the stitches, but the yarn's not crossing over in front of your hook. You do a yarn over, insert under the first stitch, pull some yarn here, yarn over, bring it through, and no more yarn overs. I kind of have to turn to my right a little bit, and then I've made my first half double slip stitch. Yarn over again, insert through both loops, come to the other side, my second half double slip stitch. Yarn over, under both loops, grab the yarn through, and now I just find it helps if I twist my hand a little bit to get that done. Yarn over, grab the yarn through, complete the slip stitch. I'm going to do that all the way to the end. Now I've just completed my half double slip stitches, so instead of turning the page like a book, I'm going to turn the opposite direction. And you're going to see I have the yarn right in front of me. And instead of going through these two loops here, I'm going to go through this loop on the back and then through the official back loop stitch. And the first one is of each row is very awkward to do. If it's not awkward, then you did the wrong stitch. And then I'm just going to do that again, make a single crochet. I'm going to go through the behind stitch and the back loop stitch, the behind and back loop. So you're going through two stitches, but you're not going through the front loop. And when we get to the end of this, you'll see why that's so fun and what possibilities it opens up. Oh. Have a very full skein of yarn. Again, the below stitch and the back loop, and then that leaves the front loop free. We're about to get to the end here. I'm almost done with this. And you do want to try to crochet somewhat loosely because this is a kind of a full and dense stitch, so it can be very hard if you crochet too tightly. Now I'm going to turn it as if the page of a book, and you can see we're ready to start doing the half double slip stitch again. But see, you have that nice ridge right there, and you can, you know, use another color and put on curly cues, or, you know, whatever you can imagine. So I will do another row of the half double slip stitch. Almost done. I have a mosquito hovering here who's loving this, looking, I guess, for some lunch. It's about lunchtime. Okay, and so we'll do one more row of single crochet. So again, I turn the opposite way I would if it were a book, so that I have this thread in front of me. Then I have to sort of like push it over with my hook and insert the hook into the behind the loop behind the stitch and the back stitch loop. And we'll finish this row. And then a swatch this size just kind of gives you an idea of the possibilities. Like I said, I made a keyboard, but it occurs to me there's just probably all kinds of things a person could do with this. And, you know, I'm just one person with my imagination, but other people with their imaginations will probably bring even more to it than I have. And I like stitches like this because I like anything that allows me to express myself in crochet, and I think this just has a lot of unexplored possibilities. So as you see, the back side is very flat, and the front side, you have these awesome ridges that you can work into. And hopefully you'll find this particular stitch pattern useful, and you'll create something amazing with it.